AD, welcome to our North Carolina cabin in the woods. You know, you really should talk to my wife, Jessie, about this, though. I swear she was here just a moment ago.
Here I am. Come on in, y'all. We're so happy to have you.
She's so little, sometimes she goes missing. So we're based in Los Angeles, California, where we make Good Mythical Morning and everything else at Mythical Entertainment. But both of us have all of our family here in North Carolina.
We've been married a long time, coming up on 24 years.
Is that how long it's been?
That's
it feels like 24 months.
It does, 24 days.
It feels like we're still on a honeymoon.
Minutes.
So we wanted to get a place, you know, put down a root or two. Or some logs. It's a log cabin.
Some big logs. They're very big logs. I'm an interior designer, so when I saw this, I immediately had a big vision for it. When you walk into this house, it feels like a storybook or a fairy tale, and I wanted people to not know when they are or where they are. Like
you wanted people to feel disoriented.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. One of my favorite things in the house is this clock. It was my grandma's. It sat in the entryway of her home, and every time I opened her door, I saw this clock. And she passed away. She would have been 100 this year, but it's really special to me. And there are touches of my grandma all throughout the house. I've got her rugs and items that I saw in her house daily, and so it's really special to me to feel her here.
It's always 8:09 in this house. No matter when.
We have not gotten
What time is it? 8:09.
We haven't gotten the clock
It's
fixed.
8:09. PM, AM, I don't know.
Maybe
you're disoriented right now.
8:09 is a special time. These pieces are from a local antique shop that I love, Whitehall Antiques. And these are actually made from old frames, pieces of frames that didn't get used. Each one is unique. And then they find little trinkets to put on each frame. And so people have huge collections. I'm just starting mine, but they're called museum bees, and they make me really happy. I hope to have this whole wall filled someday.
And who put them on the wall in that pattern? Is he here? Is it me? Yes, I did.
And we made it through that afternoon. It was a little rough.
What?
It was a little, there
it was
were some
wonderful.
words back and forth.
It was a bonding
but
experience.
We made it.
This is the kitchen, which is probably the room that was transformed the most from what it looked like. When Jessie first described this to me, I was like, I don't understand what you're talking about. You're gonna have to show it to me. And I didn't understand until I saw it.
But I showed it to you a lot because I remember I would show you each new iteration of the drawing and you would say, we're still working on this?
Yeah.
You're still not done? When I was looking at all of this incredible Art Nouveau carving, we wanted to figure out a way to kind of make that happen here, put some accent pieces, give it some oomph with molding. This area frames the stove so beautifully and feels a little bit like a window looking out into nature. The first thing that I found that kind of sent me on my way with this kitchen was this incredible Brazilian quartzite. When I saw this stone, I thought about all the trees in North Carolina. It's known as being a super green state.
Jessie looked at so many pieces of stone to make this decision. I honestly don't know what she's looking for when she goes and looks at the stone.
It's a stone's je ne sais quoi.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the only question that I have when I look at a piece of stone is, can you make love on that? And the answer is yes, you can. You can make love on this stone, and you can make love on this stone.
Period. That's on period. That's what the people want to know.
This is the living room, which is my favorite room because this is the room where you can say, I am definitely in a log cabin. You see basically the entire structure. I thought I was going to be a structural engineer at one point. I'm not, but I can still appreciate a structure. The other thing you said in this room was we had this wall hanging, and I was just, as a very logical person, I thought, okay, we have a rectangular space. Let's put the wall hanging that is rectangular shaped inside of it to fit and fill the space in this logical way. And you were like, how about we do it 90 degrees from that?
Yeah.
And that's when I just learned that I should just get on the ladder and say, what should I do? Where should I put this?
That's good, baby.
I mean,
it took 24 years.
You
but
made the best decision.
Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually a pillow that I designed. It's called the Dittus pillow because that's what all the grandkids call my mom, Phyllis. She's designed some incredible spaces, and she taught me what a good pillow is, that it's going to keep its shape. It's got some interest. We've got these tassels, and I love the fact that I have something to honor my mom because I wouldn't be doing any of this without her. I wanted an impressive centerpiece to this living room, these really high ceilings. I wanted a big ass fireplace. So we did that. I thought this was an opportunity to bring in a little light with this limestone. This mantle is a whole other story. I've been on a journey with this mantle. I ran across it at High Point Market.
And originally this thing was just barely big enough to cover the opening.
Well, I found a guy who found a guy who did some just incredible handiwork, Adam, to make this. He even sliced it in half because I was asking him to do magic, and that's what he did. He did magic.
Welcome to the primary bedroom. We've been dealing with a lot of pests since we bought this house.
It's true.
There's so many things.
So many things.
Carpenter bees,
Yep.
wasps of two varieties. We've had 2 bats in here.
We're no longer living with creatures.
Yeah, so we have definitely become one with nature, and it is very difficult to keep them out of a log cabin is something that we've learned.
There is one tenant that we have not kicked out. I discovered it a few days ago. Birds have made a nest right outside of the dining room, and it's so fun to watch them. I keep cleaning up bird poop, but
birds
it's a
are
losing
welcome.
battle.
Birds are welcome.
Yes, birds are welcome here. When I was looking at different wallpapers and started picking them out and seeing how they all work together, I showed Rhett, and your favorite one was this one, and that's how it ended up here in the primary suite.
I love this wallpaper. It also makes you feel like you are in nature when you are battling yellow jackets. You feel like you never left the forest.
When we were planning this bedroom out, it had a very tiny bathroom. So we took what was the laundry room right beside the bathroom, opened up the bathroom. It still didn't make for the largest bathroom ever. It's better than our bathroom in LA for sure. But I really wanted a tub, and we could not fit a tub in there. And I had always had this dream anyway of having a tub in the bedroom. I think that that's very romantic. It feels like a storybook. This is a stunner that I found at High Point Market, one of the vintage dealers there. It was actually hiding behind a lot of other pieces of furniture, and I saw some little glimpses of it, and I was like, what is that? And so they pulled the other furniture back, and I'm just in awe of the artistry. This marquetry is something that you don't see in furniture nowadays. And this continues the nature theme. You have these sweet turtle doves right here. I'm assuming that's what they are. I don't know if they're really turtle doves.
So this is the couch that I sit on when I do not want to make eye contact with her when she's lying in the bed, which, I mean, every once in a while, that's something we're into.
Sometimes we need to not make eye contact.
We just want to talk to each other, but not see each other.
I thought this was a great way to incorporate some plaid. I'm always concerned about being too on the nose in a log cabin. So I didn't want a lot of plaid, but a little plaid in a funky colorway and mohair, I can do that. We wanted this to be the primary bedroom because of this balcony. It has its own balcony. Come on out here with us.
Now you're out in the wildlife, right? If you come out here at night and you just stare into these woods, you'll see all these sets of glowing eyes. The first time I saw it, I was like, there's children of the woods looking at us, and it's just deer. The way that their eyes reflect back light from the house is crazy. And there'll be like 30 or 40 deer just
Pretty cool.
out in these woods. This is the loft. And this is where I'm gonna tell you, because she won't tell you about the genius that is Jessie Lane Interiors. Okay, this is Leonardo da Jessie. She's an adventurer. Look, it's the sofa that can turn into a bed. And she made this, and it's called the Sha-Sha.
It is. It's named after my sister. I made it because when my sister was coming to visit us in LA, I wanted her to have a bed that actually felt like a bed, but there wasn't anything in the market that was like that actually looked like a bed when it pulled
And also
out.
looked like the kind of sofa that you thought was cool, you know? Like,
Absolutely.
but she didn't stop with this because she also designed these pillows, the +1 pillow. Now this is, can I tell this story? Let me tell this story.
You can tell the story, baby.
So I work with Link, you know, I make Good Mythical Morning with Link and everything else that we do at Mythical. And Link's wife, Christy, helped Jessie design these pillows. They're called the +1 pillow
Yeah,
because a lot of times Jessie and Christy are our +1s to different things that we do. One of the things I love about Jessie's approach to design is it's not just design, but it has become inventing as well and making this sofa, making these pillows, and she's been able to express herself creatively in ways that I know are very fulfilling to her.
I love this artist. This is Michael Doyle. You'll see him throughout the house. Part of the reason I used his work all over is because it's so colorful. It's so playful. He incorporates lots of people, which so much of my design process is centered around people.
If I were to ask you to close your eyes and imagine a couch with pillows on it, how many pillows would you imagine were on that couch?
Yes.
Not this many.
But if it was a sofa that you found at an antique store that came over from Denmark in the 70s, then I would think it wouldn't matter. You could not have too many pillows.
Pillows were really big in Denmark in the 70s. Well, actually, they were pretty small, but they were also very big.
This came like this. In fact, there were a few more pillows that didn't make it because the zippers were coming off. And I thought,
Can you believe
you know what?
that there were originally more pillows? What were they thinking about in Denmark?
This is a found vintage French plant stand. And when I saw it, it immediately made me feel something. I wasn't sure what, but it was like a punch in the gut. And so what I found out about this is they would take pieces, broken pieces of pottery, plates that they loved, little trinkets, and plaster them to this stand. And so it kind of becomes this item that is collecting your memories throughout the years. Rhett gave me these plates for our 10th anniversary.
And then on our 11th anniversary, she got angry with me.
No,
They got
one
broken.
of them broke on the way to the cabin.
Yes,
So
okay, that was
I
it.
thought that this was the perfect opportunity to make this piece our own.
This is the guest room. We love the idea of our guests having a nicer bed than the bed that we have. So that's why this canopy bed is up here in the guest room. We have to tell our guests that before they stay with us because you literally can hear everything. If somebody said something weird at dinner and you're like, can you believe she said that? You have to talk like, can you believe she said that at dinner?
Even if you're up here with the door closed,
You can hear
because
everything in
you
this
might
house.
hear them through the cracks in the log.
But just in case they do hear us talking crap about them, they know they have the nicer bed and they're gonna walk away happy. This is the ensuite guest bathroom.
Yeah, and I struggle because I might like this bathroom better than our bathroom.
We also gave our guests the better
But I
bathroom. will
did
say
get
that.
the tub in our room. So
Right.
this bathroom was so much fun to design. And the people at Rhett and Interiors did an incredible job fabricating this. Like, this is not easy to do, and not every fabricator can make these cuts. But we wanted it to be just this over-the-top, oversized vanity, and I think we
You
accomplished
did
it.
that. You accomplished that. Now, one interesting feature that I have to talk about in this bathroom So we've got a glass shower over here, and Jessie wanted it to be symmetrical. So now we have a glassed-in toilet. And I will just say, just a little etiquette, is that it's okay if somebody sees you use. In fact, if you could be over there over the wall, the pony wall.
I'm in the shower.
Yes, I will use the bathroom while Jessie's in the shower. I'm going to be honest with you.
Are you in the bathroom? Are you in the water closet?
But I will say, I don't make eye contact.
Are you in the water closet?
I look at her body, but I don't make eye contact. Okay? This is the movie room. These couches, this one in the back is actually on a platform, so we kind of have a little bit of a stadium seating situation, but also it continues to be like very, very cozy with these big, long couches.
Yeah, we actually plan on watching a movie in here tonight.
I will say though, it's not simple because when you were staying here without me, you called me and I had to walk you through the 4-step process because you got to get the screen down, you got to turn the projector on, then you got to turn the sound on, and then you got to turn the video source on. And that was like a 30-minute phone call to watch a 30-minute show.
You like 30-minute phone calls with your loving wife,
I love talking to
don't
you.
you?
Not for an hour.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Next time I'll make sure it takes that long. A lot of the pieces in this room came from a dear friend. She's become a dear friend through this process, an antiques dealer who is down the road. And I will say, Julie at Little Boho Valley, I'll say, Julie, I want chairs that act as kind of a foil to this more traditional table I have. And she said, let me see what I got. And she brought me these incredible mid-century cafe chairs that are like two-toned, green and gold, perfect for this room. So it felt like it was meant to be.
Over the holidays, I got very sick and I spent a few days lying on this couch and I was so helpless. And I said, Jessie, I gotta find a way to get your attention so you'll come and bring me soup. And the next thing I know, she brought in this big ass bell. Soup! She brings me soup.
I'm glad you're better. We have big plans eventually for the outside, but since we've only had the cabin a few years and we've been focusing on the inside, we have some kind of an intermediary thing to hold us over. We have dubbed this the fairy circle.
This is a place where our family gathers, and also our family comes here probably more than we do. They end up using this place more than we actually do. And I have a dream of kind of building a trail that goes all the way through these woods, and there's a creek way back there and goes along the creek and then comes back up here. There's so many really cool artists around here that make cool sculptures and outdoor sculptures and that kind of thing. I would love to have those kind of along the path at some point so people kind of enjoy a stroll around the property.
And I'm down with all of those ideas. Thanks so much for coming to the cabin, AD. We had so much fun.
Now you gotta go. Watch out for the deer.
Bye.
The deer, there's one crazy one.